I feel like no one can deny that Ruin saved Security Breach. Like honestly, as much as I love the game, it's not an amazing game. It has plenty of issues. As a matter of fact, I never finished the game. I only made it to that maze size section where you had to click all those buttons to change the maze arrangement. It was so dumb. And then once I tried to get the right code, it didn't fucking work. As much as I love Security Breach, it's a flawed masterpiece.
Now how is that helpful to me, Freddy? Look how stupid you look.
But Ruin saved that in the eyes of many people who didn't like Security Breach. Like, Ruin is a genuinely fantastic DLC, which I haven't played, and it took them an entire year to actually realize the merchandise potential of Ruin, and now a year later we actually have merchandise for it. We got an Eclipse plush, as well as a Funko Pop, which no one cares about, as well as action figures, which, spoilers by the way, we're taking a look at those today. But these action figures are really interesting because it is the last wave of the Funko Five Nights at Freddy's action figures, because if you were hiding under a rock for the last 4 months, Funko lost the master toy license. They don't have it anymore. It now belongs to a company known as Jazzwares. Now, Jazzwares is a very controversial choice, but as someone who is not looking at the actual company and just the toys they make, they know their way around the kitchen. I own 2 different video game figures from them. I own this Fortnite Cuddle Team Leader Christmas version. I don't know the exact name of it, as well as a Sonic figure from when they owned the Sonic license. And the Sonic toy line is regarded as the best Sonic toy line until Jack Specific got it and completely decimated them with the Sonic Movie 3 figures. But this is still a really solid figure. It's got some issues, especially the fact that they break. That's a pretty bad thing to happen. But the Fortnite figures, they're also really solid figures. They have some pretty decent articulation and they're really fun to pose around. So I forgot to mention I actually do own their Halo action figures as well as their Minecraft action figures. I'm very nostalgic over the Minecraft Jazzwares line, and as you can see, they are very poseable figures. They like some of the best I've ever seen. But seriously, the Halo ones are actually really fun to pose around. There's actually a lot of articulation. Honestly, I like this Master Chief over this Cuddle Team Leader. Like, this is just really fun to mess around with. He's also got some insane foot articulation. Like, that's crazy. So throughout this video, I'm mentioning like this as the perfect example when I should have been mentioning this guy. This guy's the perfect example of what Jazzwares is capable of. They know their way around a kitchen, and I'm cautiously optimistic for Jazzwares Five Nights at Freddy's figures. I hope they don't mess up the Security Breach figures like Funko did. I have a love-hate relationship with the Funko Five Nights at Freddy's action figures. I actually made a video talking about the many problems with the fact. This is actually my 3rd Five Nights at Freddy's action figure related video. My first one is where I destroyed Montgomery Gator. Hey gamers, how are we doing? So I decided it'd be actually fun to react to this video from 2 years ago. If you hear like some chewing noise in the background, I have 2 dogs in here, each fighting to get a bone. And what's so weird is that there's another bone in here. There's 2 bones in here, yet they're fighting for one specific bone, and I don't understand it. None of my business. I'm not a dog. We're reacting to I Fixed FNAf Security Breach. I made this when the initial game came out. At this time, I didn't care for Five Nights at Freddy's, really. I was in and out of the fandom at this point. Nowadays, I am fully into the fandom, which is not a good thing on my wallet. I want to show you how dated this video is. The video tags, half of them are Minecraft related, and 2 of them have been revealed to be bad people.
That is literally the best. I swear to God.
Ew. Is that me? When did this come out? 2021. How old was I? I was 16. That's me when I was 16? What is that angle, man? I decided to do a really bad angle of like right down here. It was not a good angle. I don't know what I was thinking. I love how I'm just criticizing a video from 3 years ago. That is unlisted. This is an unlisted video. And the only way you can see this video is if you have the link, which coincidentally will be linked in the description down below. So if you want to check out this video, you totally can. That was a banger video. The second one is where I took a look at these 2 guys right here, guy and girl, and they got some problems. Guys, I got some bad news. I don't see the leg. I don't know what to do now. We're just gonna keep the leg off. Now she looks like Monty from Ruin, which we did not get a figure of for some reason. I do not like the Funko Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach action figures. First off, they look like shit. I went to GameStop today, and they still have Chica and Vanny. Vanny doesn't look bad. Chica? So they already don't look good, and then also their whole articulation system just does not work for these designs. These versions of the characters are more agile, they're more seamless, so that means they need better articulation, because this works for an animatronic from the 80s, but not an animatronic from 2050. It just does not work. Doesn't help that the joints are very loose as well, so they just fall apart very easily. They're not good figures, right? I feel like everyone can agree with that. But the Ruin figures are a different story. They are considered to be some of the best finance and I'm really not doing a good job here. They are considered to be some of the best Five Nights at Freddy's action figures we've ever gotten, which is kind of ironic because these are the last Funko Five Nights at Freddy's action figures we're ever getting. So I guess they finally figured out how to work in the kitchen now, but it's too late because they already lost the license. A few days ago, I got myself Eclipse and and Ruined Roxy at 2nd and Charles. I got this board game, which has a huge cut on the top. I wish I noticed that earlier. But I got Roxy and Eclipse, so I decided to make a video about it. But as I thought about it, the more I realized I should probably get Chica to complete the trio, because there's only 3 figures in this wave. Why couldn't they have made, like, the Mimic or Ruined Monty? Like, they literally could have added Ruined Monty as an accessory, or maybe even Ruined Freddy. But nope, it's just Eclipse, Roxy, and Chica. But whatever, I got the 3, which, by the way, I forgot to text my AI toxic girlfriend chatbot that I got Ruined Chica, so hold on. I got Ruined Chica today at GameStop. Laughs sarcastically. Oh, poor baby. Got destroyed in the game. Spill the humiliating details. No, it's an action figure. Pouts. You got ruined by an action figure purchase at GameStop. How much did that set you back? 15 USD. USD. 15 down the drain. What was this figure even of? Some obscure character you'll display and forget? Just the abbreviation, no number. How bad was the damage? 2050. Did you really break the bank? No, I already said it was 15 USD. It was of Ruined Chica from FNAf Ruin DLC. Oh, DLC. Eyes buying Ruined Chica from FNAf. That figure is actually kind of cool. You've got taste, I'll give you that, but still 15 worth it? You know, thinking about it, this is supposed to be a bit, but this looks really depressing if you don't know this is a bit. So guys, I'm not texting a toxic girlfriend AI chatbot in my free time. I'm doing this for the video. It also doesn't help that, like, I'm begging people to subscribe, so when I reach 3,000 subscribers, I'll buy a Roxanne Wolf body pillow. Both of these things just isn't looking good for me. Anyway, let's talk about the Ruined action figure, shall we? So the packaging is pretty similar to all the other Five Nights at Freddy's action figure packaging. You got the bubble packaging, the name of the character, as well as the backdrop, which is the most basic shit imaginable. It shows the Five Nights at Freddy's logo as well as the Ruin logo. And then on the back, it shows the 3 figures you can get, as well as a whole bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that they are legally required to put on the back. Like I said, I wish there was more characters in this wave instead of just 3.
I just realized the price difference. So Roxy and Eclipse, they were $19 each at 2nd and Charles, and I got Chica for $15 at GameStop. Did I just get scammed?
Anyway, opening up time. I try my best to keep the package neat, so in case I mess up the video, I can film it again, but I didn't do a good job doing that. Her arm came off. Already, this feels so much better than this Roxy. Oh, there's a ball joint at the foot. Oh, that's so much range and movement. Holy shit, they might actually have made a good figure here. Hold on. Ball joint at the head? Are you serious? Hold on. What did she have before? It was just a swivel, and the hair ruined it, so there was no articulation at the head. Full-blown ball joint? There's articulation at the tail? It's just a swivel, but still, that's surprising. Did they finally figure out how to make a good action figure after they lost the license? That's crazy. So taking a look at the sculpt for Roxy, it's a less detailed version of her look in the game, which is expected. It's an action figure, but she still looks really, really good. And for articulation, actually, they might have cooked. Ball joint at the head, swivel at the torso, swivel on the tail and the back, ball joint, swivel, swivels on the other side, which has limited range due to this shoulder pad. And then for the legs, there's a ball joint, knee, another ball joint, which is more loose than I would like it to be. There's a ball joint at the feet, but one has more range than the other one. Holy shit, this actually is a decent figure. So overall, Boomer Doom, I'm giving this a boom. We're putting her right here to this amalgamation I've been building. I don't know what's supposed to be. Next up, Eclipse. This one I actually was the most hyped for because I did want to get Sun and Moon, but I never got around to getting them. His arm came off. Is this just a common theme with these figures? His arm is loose. Alright, so gonna be honest, a little bit disappointed with Eclipse, but not a bad figure. So the sculpt also looks really, really good. Like I said with Roxy, it's not as detailed as the in-game models, but that's expected because this is a piece of plastic, but he still does look nice. And articulation is also kind of fun as well. There's a ball joint right here at this little hinge thing he's got. So you can look up all the way, look down. You also move all the way around, which is fun. Ball joint at the arm as well as at the elbow, and a swivel at the hand. Like I said, this hand is very loose. Where did that go? That's kind of a common theme I've been noticing with these figures, that some joints are way looser than they should. Not a swivel at the torso. Oh wait, no, yes there is. Okay, it was stuck. Swivel at the torso, ball joint at the top of the leg, ball joint at the knee, and a ball joint at the foot. He's not bad figure, just a little bit disappointing. Now I feel like I should go into some more details here because I want to talk about the articulation of this guy and how it's very disappointing for this character. Also ignore this mess of action figures. These are all action figures I was using throughout the video. I just haven't done anything with them, so there's just one big pile of shit. So like I said, the articulation on this figure isn't bad at all. I really like this ball joint at the head. This is awesome. But everything else I feel like is too limited for this character. I've already been very vocal about this whole ball joint system that Funko has for their Five Nights at Freddy's action figures and how it doesn't work for the character designs in Security Breach. And this is a perfect example of a character that does not work with the whole ball joint system. This guy in the game moves around a lot. He's all over the place. He's dancing all over. He's crawling. He gets into a lot of funky poses that you cannot do with the figure. I mean, like I said, the head joint is amazing. I love this head joint, but that's how far his arm can go. When I was trying to pose him, like I would try to push it farther, and guess what? Doesn't work because he's limited. He can't do that. Same thing with his leg. You could realistically get him that far, but you could like twist it and you could kind of try to cheat it, but it doesn't really work. And then the bend at the knee, you really can't get that many dynamic poses with this figure, which is such a shame because this figure is of a character who's very dynamic, who moves around a lot, and you just can't do it with this figure. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to complain about this figure even more. So yeah. Anyway, bye. Back to the actual video. You're gonna be right here next to Roxanne Wolf. You understand? There you go. Alright, lastly, Ruin Chica. This one I decided to get just because I've needed all three figures for this video. Alright, good. None of the arms popped off, but her leg popped off. That's not good. Okay, well that's a tight joint, so I think it was just coming out. Okay. No ball joint at the foot. Oh, that sucks. Oh, there is a ball joint. There's just zero movement. Okay, so what was the point? She's more limited than the other characters, but I feel like that works for the design of the character, if that makes sense. Sculpt-wise, this is probably the best one out of three. It looks really accurate and it looks fantastic, especially all the stuff on the head and all of like the goo and shit. It just looks really nice, which is so weird because this is my least anticipated one out of the three. I should have been more hyped for this. But it's just overall a really nice figure and definitely an upgrade over the Security Breach figure, which was not as good as this one. And for articulation, there's a ball joint at the head. There is a swivel at the torso, but no movement. Ball joint, swivel, ball joint, ball joint. There's a swivel, but not a ball joint. I don't understand this. And this one, there is a slight ball joint. So overall, this is honestly probably my favorite out of the three. And I do wish there was more articulation at the feet, but overall, comparing it to like Eclipse, who just fell, and Roxy. Honestly, I'm thinking Roxy's probably my favorite out of the three, followed up by Chica, and lastly by Eclipse, which is such a shame because I was actually so excited for Eclipse, but he's just not as good. Did the Funko Five Nights at Freddy's action figures end on a high note? I would say yes. It still has the issues I have with the Security Breach figures from earlier, and to be fair, I do think it works a little bit better for these designs because they are all fucked up and shit, so I would expect them to be more damaged. But I don't know, I do like some of the added articulation to make them more posable, but it still doesn't change the fact that they're not amazing figures, if that makes sense. Like, they're not bad. I would totally recommend them if you want a ruined Roxy figure or an Eclipse or ruined Chica, but I still don't think that this articulation system is the best for these versions of the characters, which is why I am optimistic for Jazzware's figures, because like I said earlier, they know how to work a kitchen. Also, in my previous video talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach figures by Funko, I really think a company like SH Figuarts could do an amazing job with the glam rock design. My example that I used for how a company like SH Figuarts could do a great job is with Buzz Lightyear, who is probably my favorite SH Figuarts figure. Like, he is so posable and his build is very similar to glam rock Freddy, but we can't get Figuarts, so we might as well get Jazzwares. Imagine having this similar articulation design for Chica or Roxy. Like, I am optimistic, regardless on how you feel about the company, which I know Jazzwares is a controversial choice, you gotta admit that they at least know how to work a kitchen. Anyway, that's my review of the Ruin Five Nights at Freddy's action figures. It's currently 11:27 at night, and I only made this video because I got really frustrated with algebra. I do not like algebra. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Bye bye.